What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be diving into what has made Dereck Lively II showcase impressive potential as an interior play, finishing big. He's shooting 91.7% from the floor through 2 games, which, that leads the league in field goal percentage. That's a tiny sample size so far through 2 games. Not too much to read into yet on that, obviously. But, there's been some great stuff to see from him as a rookie, especially, and we're going to get into it. Against a defense that likes to switch a lot, Dereck Lively had some intriguing opportunities. Kyrie Irving on this first possession recognizes that the weak side defense is staying home on shooters. So what happens here is Lively slips a screen, forces the switch, and quickly gets out. Irving knows that there's going to be a window with the defender trailing Lively to just lob it up, put the ball where only Lively can get it. That's exactly what happens. Lively makes the catch and finishes on the right side of the rim. One of the areas that the Mavs will look to continue to develop Dereck Lively when countering switching is as a post-scoring threat, taking advantage of having that smaller matchup on him. Doncic starts this play by bringing Seth Curry into the action to force a switch. He has a mismatch on him in this instance, gets into a couple back-down dribbles, and now he sees, as he's reading, that the Nets have fully committed to helping in the paint, and they've pre-rotated the low man to help the helper. So the decision here is to leave his feet, throw the pass to the weak side corner. Maxi Kleber catches it, and before landing, he throws a touch pass to Dereck Lively, who's got a post seal on Dorian Finney-Smith in the paint. And Lively, to his credit, stays patient after making the catch, gets into a back down, sets up a drop step by making an inside move, and then gets into a jump hook, putting it in off the glass, getting to his outside shoulder, and scores. One of the admirable attributes of Dereck Lively is that he runs the floor hard. Playing with energy and effort can create advantages without having to do anything complicated. Here, the Mavericks are playing 5-on-4 because a Nets player is on the floor after the made basket. Lively runs the floor hard, makes himself available for that pass. Doncic waits, gets it to him in the paint. And the weak side defense for the Nets, they have to account for 2 efficient shooting threats, but you also can't leave a big who's catching the ball in the paint open. So both of them, in the split-second decision, choose to commit to Lively. He stays patient through the crowd, and he gets the ball to Seth Curry in the corner. The ball pops around, and this ends up creating a situation where Doncic is able to attack a recovering defense. He uses his size advantage, and with Doncic being such a threatening player for the defense to have to account for, especially with a mismatch, he's able to freeze up the defense in a situation where he just can lob up a one-handed lob. Dereck Lively has the vertical leap and the length to be able to go up and get it, and he just flushes it home. There's a lot of big picture context to take into play. There's a lot of big picture context about the Mavs to take into consideration when thinking about this play here. Here they have Grant Williams, Josh Green, Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, and Dereck Lively all on the floor at the same time. Lively begins in the dunker spot. But what happens here is that Luka Doncic draws a late double team from the Nets, and this shows how badly some teams are going to get punished when this type of personnel is all on the floor, where the spot-up threats can hit open shots and drive closeouts, and also just with the attention that the 2 superstars command. With that late double, Kyrie Irving is spacing 1 pass away. Doncic gets the ball to him with a bounce pass as soon as he recognizes it, and Irving makes the extra pass to Josh Green, who then attacks a closeout going baseline. And while this happens, Lively understands that he has to relocate to the other side of the floor. There's contact as he tries to get a seal. But what he understands here is with Green drawing help, Lively can just make himself available for the drop-off pass at the top of the charge circle. Green delivers it to him and clears out potential defender by having his back to him while he's in the air. It cuts off the defender on the landing. And Lively is a very intriguing athlete as a big. He can get off the floor very quickly. He just quickly leaps, dunks it, and there's nothing the Nets can do. The Spurs were a very different matchup for the Mavericks. They were very much reluctant to switch. They usually fought through screens, avoided soft switching to try to keep their intended matchup on the Mavericks superstars. And this created different sort of opportunities for Lively to be involved as a roll man. And on this first play, the Mavs play out of a double drag screening action with Josh Green as the first screener, and Lively gets into the roll, and Kyrie Irving attacks downhill, turns the corner. And notice this is the luxury of playing with a high-level guard. Well, one of two high-level guards, I should say. Irving cuts off the on-ball defender, and this forces the big defender to have to step in his way and go 2-with-1 deep on a drive. And while Irving misses the initial finish attempt because the big tries to make a play on the ball at the rim, Lively is in a perfect position to be able to just track the ball on the miss and just flush it home on a putback. It's always challenging to handle Doncic in a high pick and roll situation, but it's especially challenging when he has the luxury of playing against drop coverage and has a roll man who's 7'1" with a 7'7" wingspan and can just sky above some of his matchups to be able to high point the ball and finish an alley-oop. And that's exactly what happens on this play. Doncic crosses half court and quickly receives an extended high ball screen. And in this instance, he's able to cut off Jeremy Sohan, who's the on-ball defender, with a hostage dribble. And this really puts the big in a tough position because the big's going to have to guard 2-with-1. And what makes this especially challenging for the big is that they have to respect Doncic's floater. And with him getting into what could be a right-handed floater, there has to be enough respect for it early on. But then when there's recognition that it could be a lob, then it's going to be too late in some instances like it is here for Zach Collins. Collins has to work to recover, but he's just too small to be able to recover in time. Lively essentially mosses him by high pointing the ball with contact and then throws it down with one hand on the way down. This is a great example of the trust that Luka Doncic has in Dereck Lively, even though to this point of the clip, they have played basically one official half together. And Lively gets behind Zach Collins here. Doncic just throws up a lob over Victor Wembanyama, who's got an 8-foot wingspan. And Lively high points the ball here, maintains control on the way down. And instead of forcing a finish on the left side of the glass, he uses his length and gets into a reverse layup immediately after landing, and Zach Collins just can't recover. And this is just an easy finish and a great example of having dynamic athletes and the benefit it can have for an offense. The potential that Dereck Lively has as an offensive rebounder should not be overlooked at all. On this instance, the ball ends up finding Derrick Jones Jr., and he throws up a tough, just bad floater, essentially. And this doesn't come close at all to even touching the rim. Lively has good instincts here. Lively is essentially high-pointing the ball with two hands before Zach Collins even left the floor. What's really intriguing about the rest of this play is that Lively maintains control of the ball and uses a step-through to finish on the left side of the rim. That patience is not common that you see from a young big man, especially one that was a true freshman just a year ago. This was a very interesting side ball screen play for the Mavs. Kyrie Irving is the ball handler, pushing it in transition. And here Lively flows into the screening action. And with the Mavericks having Luka Doncic spacing one pass away, Jeremy Sohan, who is the nail defender, is going to be reluctant to fully cut off Irving. And he knows that. But at the very least, he's going to have to protect the ball from a reach attempt, and he does that here. And with the on-ball defender, Devin Vassell, trailing after the initial ball screen, Irving has the ball in his left hand. Zach Collins has to guard 2-with-1, respect the potential left-hand finish, and this creates an opportunity for Irving to use pace and throw a one-handed lob with his left hand, take the big defender out of the play, and no one is in position to account for Lively, who just catches the lob and finishes it. Doncic once again shows a lot of trust in Lively as a lob threat. They flow into a step-up screen in transition, and Doncic attacks along the sideline here. The on-ball defender, Devin Vassell, is trailing, and now Zach Collins has to handle staying in a position long enough to help against the drive to deter a finish for Doncic, while also being in a position to recover and break up a potential lob or drop-off pass to Lively. And in this instance, Doncic just shows exactly why he's such an elite passer. He uses pace, slowing it down on the drive to make Collins have to pick his poison. And he throws a one-handed live dribble lob with his right to Lively. Collins reads this and is trying to recover, but Lively simply is just too big, has too long of arms, and is too explosive of an athlete for Collins to basically handle in this instance. Lively plays through contact and maintains enough control and poise to get the ball into the rim and finish the and one. This is a great example of the type of play and situation that Lively is going to have to get accustomed to in the NBA. The Mavericks look to run a stack pick and roll play here, but the Spurs switch this, and there isn't an advantage on the catch after Doncic throws the bounce pass, with Zach Collins switching off of Kleba to maintain his positioning as a rim protector. And Lively has to finish at an awkward angle through verticality and ends up trying to put it off the glass to bank it in, but it's just barely not on line and bounces out of the rim. This is a great example of the motor and effort that Dereck Lively plays with. Both teams are pursuing this contested rebound. He gets a hand on it, bats it out to his teammate Tim Hardaway Jr., who then shoots a tough shot against a Victor Wembanyama contest. But Lively gets right back to it on the offensive boards. No one gets a body on him, and he leaves his feet before anyone even recognizes his positioning, and he finishes the putback. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching it all the way through, and I would greatly appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again.